Welcome to Detention. Legs drew the short straw. Why don't you tell us what happened in episode 97 of Book of Dawn, Ioth Academy?
Sup, gamers and goblins? It's recap time, baby. Today we had a look at some magical artifacts, and they really f***ed up our day. So to start with, we had a weird infernal mask, but to be honest, this is actually the pog of the day, in that it can be used to tame an infernal nightmare steed, which we are obviously going to have around the school grounds. So for now, just a pretty ornament. The second artifact was something called the Book of the Stilled Tongue. And spoiler alert, it had a load of cool spells in it, and it would have been really sick to use, but also it was a wire. And we all became moles for Zethius, and now disintegrated it, which in the long run is probably the much better approach. But that did get us spiraling on some plans. The heroes are still wondering how we can rescue the Sage from her prison slash just floating out in space, but still breathing while being attacked by Despair's Herald over in Underoot. In order to do that, we've come up with a multitude of plans and have eventually settled upon some good old-fashioned Ocean's 11 subterfuge. We're going to shrink down. We're going to use potions of diminution to become tiny, and hopefully, under the guise of all being in the pocket of some other person in Underoot, get into Underoot, and then shadow walk to the Sage, make her tiny as well in order to slip from her bonds, all leave as tiny little people, and then go back to Ioth Academy, and woohoo! We're all free, and like this for at least another 3 hours, unfortunately. And we told Elna about this plan. The heroes were very convincing, and Elna seemed receptive. However, there are still some kinks that need to be worked out, including the potential political ramifications of what is, in essence, a jailbreak. Aside from that, we had some lovely schmoozing. A cafe exploded, which is a lot smaller of an incident than it sounds. It was down to some gnome crafty work, but the good news is that ended in Mantra getting a kiss from Sventisco as he finally laid out his feelings bare before her girlfriend, made her feel incredibly valued. And I think that we can all agree that's winning the girlfriend test. On the other side, Garnet and one of her multiple suitors, the Marshal of Brontha, did some canoodling in order to try and figure out how to leverage some assets that Bronthan Intelligence has been placing within Underoot. All of those are still moving, but Garnet is currently rizzed up, so that may well have some long tendrils, which we shall be following over the course of the next few episodes. And I think that is mostly the recap done.
Good job.
Hold on. Inspiration for you. And you already burned your inspiration, so hey, you doubled back up on that.
Hey, we're back, baby.
And we're up. So, episode 97 of our short 8-episode miniseries, and I wrote a whole bunch of stuff for tonight's adventure. I had academy events. I had okay, these are things for Crowan, and these are things for Legday, and these are things for Lemon. And I got through like a third of it, because most of it was just all of you cooking, which is not a complaint. That is actually, it's really cool. And I can just sit there and let the lot of you drive things. Player agency is a big win. I'm happy with that. Let's do our standard startup, and Crowan, give me your stars and wishes for today's episode.
All right, pretty easy. We spent so long cooking, and go to Elle now. She said, "Fuck all that cooking," and disintegrated the book. And not that we had to start from square one. It's still mostly the plan is intact, but just the fact that that was a big part of it. That mantra in character definitely would have been still really sus about doing the whole ritual and getting Harold's name. But me as player, I thought that shit was about to be pog as fuck, so I was looking forward to it. But
it'll still be doable.
No longer.
It'll still be doable.
True, if Athalor can recover the spell, and wish is, what is Zethius gonna do with this knowledge? Is it gonna be nothing? Is it gonna be something? Because knows the book is destroyed now, but also what has Zethius just been up to recently? He's been cooking something. So yeah, what the heck has he been up to?
I'm sure we'll have a chance to find out. Legs, highlights, and hopes.
Highlight, now destroying the book is oh. But also, there's got to be a reason behind this. That was a roller coaster of emotions for Athalor. It's I don't need it. I don't need it. Oh, I need it. Wishes. I want to know what Uncle saw through my eyes when he looked at the book. See if he had a look at some of these dark magics. Was like, oh, I'll have some of those.
Yeah, does
Don't mind
anyone
if
ever stop to think about the fact that Uncle's just like there the whole time?
I thought about that earlier. But
he's just chilling. I don't know how to modulate his access, but in this case, it might well have made me a backup drive. So we'll see. That can't cast spells for free, but you know what? Maybe we'll have some interesting ones to use our own spell slots on. As for wishes, I'm really enjoying the idea of like something that's just so simple of sneaking in just by being tiny. Like, we have to cook so hard, but it seems so amazing that we might just go in a briefcase of like 6 tiny guys.
Look at the trench coat of just
Yeah.
nothing to see here. Just underwood business.
We've got some
Actually, trench coat.
proper childish, like Gulliver's Travels level sneaking, which I love the cooking, but it's a welcome change from how complicated we usually have to make shit.
And here I thought this is like one of the more complicated plans. It just happens to involve, you know.
And some of us have to use a voice mod to pull that off. So congratulations, well done.
Well, congratulations on your testicles.
That's the quote of the day. Congratulations on your
Quote of
testicles.
the detention. Yeah.
11. What about you? Memes and dreams.
Stars. Inaros Riz wishes more Inaros Riz.
Fair enough. Valid.
Yeah, I'm still like a genuine wish though, because I just don't know IRL his intentions. Because obviously rizzed up teenager just thinks older teenager is very hot and important, but it's also like trying to figure out, what does mom even give a shit about that? But also, what are his intentions? Is he just rizzing up for coup? Is he rizzing up because actually Garnet is hot to him? Who knows? We'll see.
I just imagine you saying, "So, what are your intentions towards my character?"
What are we? What are we?
Dreaded, what are we talking?
For this plan, I've been cooking though, and I actually only thought of the reduced shit like today talking to gnomes, because I was like, oh my god, I'm actually gonna cause the end of the world, because my original thought was like, I'm gonna have to use the ritual to unwind the firmament, like some kind of surgery, and I'm like, I'm gonna fuck that up, because any bad roll is just gonna open the ozone layer and leak everything in, and that's how Ioth Academy ends somehow. But then I was like, oh, how do we? Okay, it's either we teleport her out or we just get her out physically. And I'm like, oh, just enlarge reduce is something used in Baldur's all the time. So Baldur's inspiration.
It just keeps on making things better for us down here.
So teleporting, like getting to the sage was like the easy part, I think. We had enough ways of tracking her down.
Yeah.
It was just like getting her out where I was like, fuck. We don't know anything about the firmament, so it's not like a dispel magic. It's not like a just physically take it off. It's obviously she's unable to get herself out, so it's strong enough. He can't get her out, so it's strong enough. And I don't know. I had zero idea how we were going to get her out. Besides this, I didn't even think this reduced shit was going to work, but Gnome said, maybe. So that was good enough for me.
Void slicing probably would have also worked, or at least it would have gotten her out.
Yeah, when I asked you, like, oh, is the firmament like the ozone? And you were like, yeah. And I was like, well, I wouldn't take a chainsaw to the ozone. Like, that just... oops, and just the darkness comes in.
You're gonna Mad Max all of Underoot.
So, the firmament's job... here's your lore of the day, because we haven't had enough of that. The firmament's job is to hide Anacra. As a world floating in the hungry dark, it has light. It has magical energy. It's detectable. And the last time somebody saw it was during the Dawn world, where it was just shining incredibly bright. And the people who saw that and showed up were the Infernals. They originally traveled through the hungry dark to get it. So when the Dawn world ended and the Sovereigns sort of divided everything into the 4 kingdoms, they did so in a way that creates this interlocking barrier that is the firmament. to one, hide Anacra from the rest of the universe, from the rest of the multiverse, so that other universes don't know it's there, and therefore can't launch invasions and expeditions and stuff like that. And two, not only does it conceal, it's also a metaphysical barrier. So even if something found its way here, it would be really difficult for it to make its way through. It's designed like Infernals cannot break out of it. The Infernals are trapped inside of Anacra because they were here when the firmament was created. They are not powerful enough to break it. They would very much like to. They do not like.
It's like the Academy's dome, but it actually conceals and it actually works.
It actually works because it's hard. except that it was created by the 4 sovereigns, and one of the sovereigns got shanked by Uzul. And that's why the Infernals are running so much of the world, is because they killed Anacra. So when that happened, the firmament weakened. It loosened up a little bit. It's no longer 100% concealed. It's no longer 100% blocked. And things like, say, the smell of the Earth's blood are now able to waft out through the cracks. Some fun
Essentially,
facts.
there's a hole that's been poked in our celestial condom.
Exactly.
And I'm trying to not get Anacra pregnant, so I didn't want to cut it up.
Is that the quote now? Like, it's just,
yeah, all of your lore is just gonna come down to fucking sex and dick jokes.
Congratulations on your testicles. We didn't get Anacra pregnant.
there we go. It's now one quote. Hold on. Let's go in the record. Congratulations on your goals. You didn't get Anacra pregnant. Good job, everybody. Well done.
Ooh.
Aces all around.
I think it's worth sharing with the audience the proposed name for the Despair's Herald that we came up with in the break.
Missed that entirely. Was that in back chat? Where was that?
No. We discussed it.
Gregory?
Yeah.
Oh.
Gregory.
Fucking Gregory the Herald.
Yeah, his secret name. Oh. That's right. I completely
We
forgot
hate you
about that.
fucking Gregories. Sorry if you're
Yeah.
Gregory.
So the Herald is a character that I cooked up largely during college, which was also when I was the most depressed of my entire life. It may show.
Makes sense. What the hell?
And my estranged father's name is Gregory. So that one, it's
my
it's
ex is named Gregory.
What's going on? What's
Everyone's
going
got a
on?
Gregory they hate.
Gregories, man. I just have to think of like the stupidest name. So like, what if his name is just Gregory?
I would like to apologize to you who's listening and watching right now, Gregory, who's not either of those two Gregorys. We don't hate you, probably. You're
There's
probably
some poor
a nice
motherfucker
Probably.
out there named Gregory. Just like
That was
I
worth it
can't
to
watch
fuck
cast
with all the
anything.
Gregories.
Yeah, it's just like when Yahtzee and zero punctuations, like all of you, especially you, Adrian. Or when we were bastards and we would go to Disneyland growing up. Now, I think we talked about this, but never actually did this. The thing where you stand on a bridge over a path and you just shout random names. Just to
We
mess with
could have
people.
just brute forced his name. Actually, like hackers do that to get people's passwords.
I don't
try
know if we've
every
got
name.
the time to do like 17 billion
Yeah.
permutations.
Like the birth names of people. Open the book and just blah 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 and go through them.
I don't know if there's a book like that here. It's not like you can go to babynames.com.
Baby
and
Gap,
unlock it, you
Baby
know?
Gap book, Baby Infernal Gap book.
Yep. That being said, there could still be ways to acquire that information.
I mean, I feel like there's ways to contact him besides that. I just thought the fuck
Mhm.
off banishment Gregory sounded like a really funny
Just an absolute
way.
slap, humiliating elder evils since 2020 or
It's like
whatever.
if you
From
just
the
middle
powers
finger
that
and then
be-
enlarged the middle finger and just did that.
The powers of the arcane. We've
someone-
smite you, Gregory.
Like Harry, you're like Harold or whatever, right? Like imagine if someone said your fucking full name, Harold
Mhm.
Leg Day, whatever.
Harold
Jennifer.
Ryan Despair, get your ass over here right
Harold?
now.
Harold,
Mom?
that's you. Leg Day, you're Harold.
Oh my god.
You're the fucking herald.
His name is Leg Day.
Yes, his real name is Leg Day. We've revealed
We never
the
would have
secret.
guessed. That's a stupid fucking
Lifts his
name.
cloak. He's just jacked from the waist down.
Just absolutely ripped. Why doesn't he have a body? He skipped Leg Day. And he's under an ancient curse, and if that ever happens, off he goes.
He's reverse Dorito. That's why he's despaired.
The triangle instead of the
Triangle.
Oh man.
Well, this got unhinged.
That's
What about,
you know what? That's why people pay for the free. It's not actually premium content.
That's what this part of the show is all about. The hinges
Exactly.
are coming off.
Exactly.
None of the doors will be staying
Uh,
in their frames.
That's something else I was going to talk about. Honestly, the fact that we did not do some of the other things that I wrote down is throwing me slightly. But again, love when that happens. Big fan of that when that happens. It means we get some of our best role play, and also, like I said, player agency is a good thing, actually.
Oh, I just noticed in the recap, I forgot our cliffhanger.
You forgot what?
I forgot the cliffhanger in the recap.
Let's talk about the cliffhanger. Were a lot of you able to see that whole thing up there? The letter that I posted? Yeah. I'm sure Athalor can choose to share that with people afterwards. Any theories or responses to that yet?
Anything named Crimson is bad. Crimson Fleet from Starfield, bad. Crimson Council sounds bad.
I
That's
mean,
my
no.
Crimson is also like a really weird name for an Underoody.
Where they have the blue and
Entity?
silver?
Because they love blue and silver. Like,
Well, that's it. It's the opposite.
Yeah, like
Opposite color, bad.
is this the ones who are like under the influence of Brontha? Where they're red?
Yeah, like the red color is evil inherently. Crimson, blood.
Sailor
Crimson...
would like a word.
Okay, we're not called the Crimson Folk. We're fire.
But still, it's just that's color associations though. Still, so
It's more like
you know.
bright red, not like crimson. It's different. Crimson's evil.
I mean, true. Crimson is the most asshole shade of red.
I hate that.
I guess that's going on the list. It's no congratulations on your testicles, but it is going on the list.
I feel
like
like I would say if Athalor chooses to share this like letter, it would probably be from people that like Athalor would have known in the past. We can maybe break it down and figure out like who the fuck it is. Assumedly, maybe not though, but that's my theory. We're gonna be able to figure it out. pretty
Okay,
quickly.
literally get the courier on the line. Just fucking. Who sent
yeah.
this? Who sent you?
Yo, can I get those videotapes from UPS Ioth Academy,
What's
please?
the tracking number on that? Can we get the full?
We could fucking get. We would know anything if we wanted to.
Then why don't we know the
They got
herald's
a
name?
Seal that's never been seen before as well. Oh yeah, this is getting shown to the groups. Might get shown to me at Heffel.
Damn, who dis? You know who dis?
Wow.
I was going through
Bruh.
your phone. Who are you talking to? Who you talking to?
Now you actually have someone to blame. Who let the sage out? I don't know. Who wrote this? Like that person probably did it. Who's this? Fucking
It's like,
they
hey,
did
thanks
it.
for the scapegoat. This is very convenient.
Yeah, the Crimson Kusil.
Yeah. Yeah, meet up with them. We'll dominate whoever that fucking is, and then
Oh boy.
we don't even have to go to Brontha.
It's like when
all.
when all you have is a artifact void book, every problem just looks like a nail. I think that's how the saying goes.
Yeah, dominate, dominate, dominate.
How many
I have to
domains can you
constantly
do?
remind myself that the Book of Seos is invisible, so she just looks like an absolute nutter.
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean,
you
it
don't have a
works,
book, and you
but-
look dumb too.
I don't have a book anymore.
That's true. She
That's
was like
supposed to
only
be in the
one
book
evil
club.
book in the school. I can't believe she did. I almost wanted to counterspell it, and I was like, no, I'm gonna let this play out. There's
I won't.
probably a reason.
There's a reason.
She didn't fucking disintegrate my book, and I feel like mine is very bad. So
Incredibly, actually.
She's just a little biased, you know.
But is
Yeah,
Seos
yeah, a little
constantly
biased.
spying
she's
on
a
it?
bias.
It wasn't about the fact that these spells are bad spells. It was the fact that they're watching us.
they're
was-
watching.
Because like you said, she erased the top half of a mountain using void magic one time. She's not really in a position to make such accusations. The only thing that she
See.
ever really go ahead.
Next time, put it in a book of holding between casts. A bag of holding between casts.
Oh, there you go. There you
Okay,
go.
how can snakes write? That's the question of detention.
I
Where are the
feel
arms?
like they'd wrap their like tail around like a pen and then use that.
No, that's silly.
Because you
Snakes can't do
could achieve reasonable locomotion from like a rat's tail around a pen.
But how
Are
could
we
they see
assuming-
and write? Like that just doesn't seem like
They're
anatomically
long
possible.
motherfuckers, Lem. Most
Okay.
of them are pretty long.
Well, no, I don't believe it. I don't think they can write.
You know what? That doesn't sound reasonable at all. You'd be right.
Well, he
It's
also
a
had to
snake.
make the book, so how would he put the pages together and glue them?
I mean, how would you make a book?
Well,
You'd
but if I had a
you'd
tail, I
purchase-
wouldn't.
You'd purchase one with currency.
Well, how does he have money? He's a snake. Where does he put it?
True. Where does the snake get money from? These are the law questions we need answered.
Puts the
Who's
money in
giving
his
gold
mouth?
to a snake? Who
Seek is
did
just
he
entirely
knows?
incompetent. It just can do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, he's a snake.
Yep.
Like we're gonna beat him, and he's like a common, like like a pet snake.
This is a garter snake.
Actually, how does he cast spells? Cause somatic.
He
Are
does
there
little wiggles of his
His
tail.
little fucking like. Then what? We just sit on him and then he can't cast spells.
Maybe he's a rattlesnake, and his verbal components
It's
like.
gonna be easier to kill after all. The fuck? Just sit on him. Ride him like a snake.
Why
He's
is
my
your
nightmare.
first method of killing a snake sitting on it? That seems like one of the least effective methods
Sit on
of
the
killing
snake. Call him
Do
nightmare.
do you know anything about the role that Zethius has played in Quest for the Book of Dawn, the increasingly poorly named campaign that takes place about 500 years after yours?
We weren't
Well,
born.
I assume
so
at that
how
point
would
he's,
we
he's a
know?
skin hanging up on someone's wall.
Okay, you know what? It's fine. We can just leave it at that. I'm not going to talk about the ass snake. We don't have to talk about the ass
Ass
snake.
snake.
I've seen quotes
It sounds like some Bren
from
shit.
from
It's
Dutch
sideshow. It's sideshow.
Oh fuck.
about
the
the ass
50-50
snake.
And technically, the snake is stored in a bag of holding, and it is not explicitly canon that the snake is stored up his ass. It is I want to clarify, it is a joke. That is a joke. Unless the next time we play, he specifies that he's not joking, in which case,
like the
I don't
Alex
feel good.
bookmark,
Yeah.
which is like
exactly.
a joke.
Yeah,
The way that it's
No-
like,
we
no
know, where,
dick in
we
the
know
book
where Alex
happened.
stores his snake. It's in the Book of Dawn.
Yeah, to the extent that I have control over canon, until Josh says no, I am literally shoving this animal. Yeah, it's a joke. It's not.
and then
real.
the snake controls him from his ass.
It's like an inverse Ratatouille.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my-
in your ass. And that's where the somatic comes from. He has hands now. And he can make the book. That's how the book was made. The end.
Hang on, I'm updating the list.
Oh.
God,
How
I had
unhinged can it
something
get?
else I was going to talk about. You know, it doesn't even matter anymore. It was snake
Unironically,
related.
we could beat the snake though. If like somatic is
Okay,
a problem.
can we discuss the fact that it is a metaphorical serpent and actually in reality is a incredibly powerful fiend that can shapeshift and stuff?
Okay, spoiler.
It's real.
I thought it was a snake.
It's,
It's called a snake. Why would I not think it's a snake?
I kind of imagined him from the basilisk from the turf thing, like that
Oh.
kind of
Mhm.
like scale of snake.
no, if you ever actually see Zethius physically, Zethius has fucked up. Like, why would Zethius ever appear when Zethius could mind control somebody and send them, or manipulate somebody and send them? Because if Zethius is ever there, even with a stat block like most Infernals have, which is game-breaking bullshit, there's still a chance some kid could kill you. And Zethius is not the type to ever take that chance.
Well, now that you told me he shapeshifts, I'm gonna go back to tweaking because now everyone's an enemy because he can shapeshift.
There's a,
So-
look, it's D&D. There's a
Depression.
lot of shit.
Depression
There's
is
a
back.
There's
On the
have you
menu.
heard of doppelgangers? Have you heard of the disguise self spell? Welcome to hell, Garnet.
A
Anyone
weird
can
hack.
shapeshift.
Don't we have true sight whores on our like doors? If Underwood has that, then
I mean, you
no.
don't have them everywhere, but they've been distributed through the school for exactly this purpose.
So I
Does
can't sit on the
Zethius not
swing.
have like a kingdom as much? He probably just has like a castle somewhere. Like he doesn't have like
Zethius?
a Diffraxis. He doesn't have an Ioth.
So yeah,
No,
Anachronus
no
has
plains of snakes.
realms, and Uzul has realms, the Iron Empire, and Tillabek has wandering warbands of Raveners. But Imago, if Imago has a kingdom, it's not officially known. But again, Imago replaces people and puppeteers and stuff, right? So
Oh, can I tell you a quick fanon lore that I had?
yeah, go for it.
I have a fanon lore in my head that Imago's like kingdom is the reflection of a city that's on the sea, and like where the reflection is where like Imago has his own kingdom.
That is a
That's-
great theory, and I wonder if it's true suddenly now that you just gave me the idea.
Like I figured like a tranquil lake, and you see the
Mhm.
reflection, and Imago's like, I'm having that.
Hi, how are you? Quit looking at my things. Zethius has followers, absolutely, but they're actually Zethius does have realms, entire areas, but I don't know if there's any on this continent. There's absolutely, you know, Yonti. Are there any Yonti in Baldur's Gate 3? Snake people?
No.
Not that I've seen, I don't think.
I don't think so.
The D&D lore for the Yonti is that they used to be human, but they engaged in some corrupted magic with the demon Murchalk and some other stuff, and they all transformed into snake people. Well, in this world, they got Zethius up. So there are entire like dominions and kingdoms overseas ruled by Yonti that openly worship Zethius, even if they keep their rituals and such secret.
Oh, I mean, it's very similar
Mm.
to the Naga in Diablo and Warcraft.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, similar vibes where they were once other beings. And there's a creature called the Lamolron, which is a sentient species of, instead of being snake people, they're more like feathered dinosaur people. And so
Raptor people.
yeah, but again with like beautiful plumage and stuff, not, you know, Jurassic Park. They're unique. I think Matt invented them actually. They're not cribbed from something else like everything else. And they share an environment with the Yonti and are in constant conflict with them because the Yonti keep wanting to sacrifice them for more secrets. It happens. And the Herald does not have a kingdom. The Herald destroys kingdoms. More of his thing.
Did he and Telebec clash over that?
Nah,
No,
Telebec-
I destroyed that one.
the Herald is not proud. As long as he gets to watch things that people care about fall to ruin and can beat on people's failures and shame and such, especially if they actually deserve it in some regard, he's happy.
Cool.
Right. So next week, we are going to have some of our cast off doing a little gig somewhere in Canada. Am I right?
Yeah.
Just a small little thing.
Just a small
We're
little
on a
thing.
pog.
So we will. Is there a stream that night? I don't know the schedule.
No, it starts on Thursday.
Okay. So Crowan, I'll be in touch. We'll see if we do a solo mantra episode. It'll either be that or it'll be a week off for everybody. I had a ton of fun. Thank you as always, chat, for all the
Thank you.
Streamloots shenanigans. And unless anyone had anything else, we can go ahead and dismiss this class.
Congratulations on your testicles.
And not getting pregnant.